Brad and I were producing and owned a studio called Studio Wishbone in North Hollywood, and this guy named Kevin Carvel from Atlantic. Like, as a producer, you get those phone calls like, "Hey, we got this kid. You should write songs with him." And so Travis went in and had a meeting with Atlantic, and they said, "Who are your favorite bands?" And he said, "Blind Melon." It just so happens Kevin Carvel was a friend of ours, and Kevin said, "Oh, I know those guys. I'll hook you up with them." So Travis shows up. And we just immediately were like, "Oh boy, who does he remind you of?" You know what I mean? The good and the bad. And then we called these guys and we're like, "I know this sounds crazy."
And this is right around the time I was hanging out with you in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just getting ready to go to law school at the time too.
Yeah, like I was living in New York, hanging out with Joe Arthur here.
Yeah.
Could have been worse.
I had a good life.
Yeah, he was kicking it. Yeah, that's when Tender Trio and stuff like that was going on.
Yeah.
So you called him.
That was good music.
We called him and
I
Glenn
love
and said, "You
Roy,
got to hear
man.
this singer,
Yeah.
man. Like this could make you want to do it again." And they flew out. They thought we were crazy, but they flew out. And we played 2x4. By the end of 2x4, it was like, it's on.
Wow.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he like crushed it. Like,
It was like obvious. It was like, oh yeah, we have to do this. This guy can sing that way.
well,
these
he can
songs.
sing all the old songs. That's what we knew, but we didn't really know about we heard his demos and stuff that he had written. It was some really cool stuff on there. And we were like, well, can we write songs with him? And so we started doing that, and it worked, and we got a record done. But there were a lot of challenges, and we weren't really we were internally fucked up. But we did that.
What do you mean?
Just all kinds of,
Drama?
I mean, band
All kinds of drama.
personality conflicts.
Some of the
and-
similar drama that we had dealt with before.
It
drama.
was there
It
as
was
if
still
it
there.
never went away.
No,
Right,
it's there as
stuff
in
is-
we attract it at all times.
Like,
You know what I
it's
mean?
just
It started
stuff
making
is-
me feel crazy. Like, oh, we attract this.
Yeah,
Well,
of
no,
course.
well, it's
yeah,
not that. I
in
mean,
some way.
we'll leave it at that. But it was like, I mean, so there were problems, and we didn't. We're our own worst enemies. We always have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when it works, it really works well.
Yeah.
And there were moments where it did then, but we kind of just lost the plot for a little while, and then I don't know, like 2 years ago, it just happened. Like we really started going, and Christopher's recording stuff, and it's good. I'm surprisingly, like, we're the last people that anybody would think.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna make a good record that I would think is like,
good
oh, it's like
comeback.
it's still
Yeah.
valid in a
Right.
way, because people always say that. They say like, well, it's the best thing we've ever done, and it never is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
no, it's not as good as the shit that you did in the beginning that I really liked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what you really think. I feel like that we have a weird situation. I really think this, and I've thought about it a lot because I actually I think, shit, this is the best shit we've ever done. In a way, and I think, well, why is that? And it's because we kind of went into a state of suspended animation in a way. Mm-hmm. It feels like to me.
Flow state.
We didn't do all the stuff that we could have done. It just was kind of there. Right. And then when we came back to it, it's like, oh yeah, we can pick right up there, or something. But it sounds. I told Christopher, one night I was like texting Christopher and I said, we should call this 1997. And he was like, why? I was like, well, because we didn't get to make a record in 1997.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That would have been.
It feels like
one.
we're there.
That would have been the next
love
one.
that idea.
Yeah.
It's a weird, like,
That's cool.
it's a wormhole.
That's where we left off. That would have been the
Right.
next release. Yeah, I get that.
And we
That's
didn't get there really with the first record we did with Travis, but all of a sudden it feels like we're there. I
Yeah.
don't know how else to explain
cool.
it.
Yeah.
There's good stuff on there that I like that we'll play still, but like all of it is not like I think all of this is. And it's relaxed, and he's like,
He's
Better than
fit in
ever.
he's
to it.
nailed. He's found his space. You know?
It reminds me of like Bon Scott, in AC/DC, and then they found the what's his name?
Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
It's the classic example.
for Back in Black,
Yeah.
and it's like unbelievably great
Right.
as well.
I know.
That's what we thought. Well, okay, in 2008, we thought, well, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Like, it's the only thing we could look at and say, well, there's the template. If you get halfway there, you're doing great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it was hard to like see, examples of how you would do this, because who's going to take us seriously?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. It's like, I mean, you're replacing a star,
Right.
but if anybody can do it, Travis can do it.
Yeah. Well, and they did it with Bon Scott was a huge star.
Right, and then they made the biggest record of all time
right.
with Brian Johnson in the very next one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that record is one of the biggest records of all time.
Yeah.
Because it's full of smash hit songs.
Yeah, it's just hit after hit.
Hit after hit. They're not really appropriate, some of them.
Those
Have
hits.
you gone back and checked them out? You should read the
Some
lyrics.
Me Too moments
Yeah.
in there. Some Me
It's
Too
been
moments.
It's been a minute. Yeah, I haven't heard.
I can see that.
Damn, they're good though.
I can see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So when's the new album coming out?
I imagine next year sometime. We released a single, or at least we put a song out a couple weeks ago. Last week? It was last week, wasn't it?
Yeah,
We played Kabir last week. Yeah.
What's that called?
Way Down and Far Below is the first song that we put out, and then the guys are coming back in November to record in Joshua Tree, and that'll get us probably pretty close to finishing a record. We might need one tiny little more session after that, but that'll get us real close to finishing a record.
And then we're gonna put it out quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I want to get out for the Christmas shopping season.
What's the name of the single one more time?
Way Down and Far Below.
Way Down and Far Below.
We're gonna
It's
do another
available
one
on
next-
all streaming
yeah.
services, I guess I should say.
What's
yeah.
that
We're gonna
one
put
about?
another one out next week.
Well, that'd be up for Travis. Travis wrote that, so I think he's the one to talk to. I don't like talking about somebody else's songs. That feels weird,
Right, somebody else's lyrics.
Yeah, it's just weird, It's whatever you want it to be, Joe.
Does it rock?
It rocks and rhymes, both. We got both going
Yeah.
for us, yeah. No, it's not a rocker, but no, it does rock in a way.
I think it's
an
more of
amazing song.
It's
an
space
incredible
blues.
song. Yeah.
Space Blues?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, man. 1997.
1997.
Is that going to go, you think?
In my fantasy alternate reality that's going to shoot off from
Maybe
this
so.
one, that's the record that will come out. But in this realm, it'll probably be something different.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
I rarely get my way, Joe.
Really?
No, I don't. And I think I have the best ideas all the time.
Yeah, and you don't get your way.
Rogers
Christopher,
is full of shit because he's the greatest debater, so he gets his way at all times. Because that's where the law school comes
All
in
right, well,
handy.
here's
He wins every argument because he's trained in it, so
All right,
we can't win with him.